Yo everyone, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster 2 series. My name is XT Warrior, and today we've got a big episode ahead. I hope you're all enjoying and having an amazing day as spring is starting to wrap up and summer is kicking in. Yippee! Bye spring, hello to summer break. For some of you. I have to do a summer class. That's okay. Now, I'm going to get into key details for what you're going to expect in today's video. Now, I'm going to talk about the off-camera updates and park expansion. Now, before we dive into today's coaster build, let's go over the off-camera changes, which I basically just said. If you caught in the beginning of the video, you probably noticed that I have added a train behind the utility building. My plan is to have this train expand along with the park. You know, as I keep building the park, I'll be adjusting the train's path to make sure that it fits naturally with the rides and attractions. If it doesn't, really go as well, I'll keep it there, and then I'll just make it look like it's under construction. I was trying to mess with it off camera, and I was trying to make it go towards the other side of the park, but it didn't really fit as well. Or going through the path, so I guess I'll find a way where it's gonna lead. But I guess we'll find out, as we go along. And can't you guys believe that it's already episode 10 of this series? Feels like we're not even halfway through the arc yet. Finishing it. Now today, this coaster is inspired by the Demon. Alright, now let's talk about this coaster. Today I'm going to be working on a Aero coaster inspired by the Demon. If you have been to Six Flags Great America, or you might have seen this ride, or maybe you've ridden it, the other one at a different park. I don't really know I know there was like two of the same coaster, but I don't know necessarily where the other one is coming from. There was about two of these coasters built, I think, maybe three. I think there was about two. So it's not just exclusive to Six Flags Great America. Now let's talk about the brake run and layout of this ride. I started this build by focusing on the brake run before I even started, making the coaster, which most of us, when we build coasters, we usually like to do the brake run first. Now, as I designed the coaster layout, I also worked on the pathways of the ride. The plan is to match the paths with the coaster's color scheme using the black and gray tones for of the path. It will be probably gray or black, I think, around gray or black. And the custom supports I will be adding, when you guys will see towards the video. I will not be adding the custom supports in this video, but some supports are on the midway, so I don't really want that. I want them on the side, and then people can walk under it. It's much, much better. Now we're going to talk about the inversions of my coaster, and I also added a mid-course brake run. I have decided to add 2 vertical loops right after the first drop, so they keep the pacing exciting and really set the tone for the rest of the ride. Following the loops, I built a mid-course brake run. This is essential for controlling the coaster's pacing so it doesn't, fly through the second half huge, ridiculous speeds and, me not giving a good rating for the coaster. Once I had the brake run set up, it was time to add some corkscrews, which, you always add those during these types of rides. And you know how bumpy Aero corkscrew coasters can be. I've placed about 2, which is pretty much on every single coaster, Only about 2. Not 3, not 1, just about 2. I think there's also Demon Great America and Corkscrew at, or is that what they call it? Corkscrew at Cedar Point, I think. Now, to make sure the ride has some good airtime moments, I included some small airtime hills near the end of the ride. Some of these hills were actually tilted, so the riders could slightly, you go up and then you're on to the side, leaning to the side. I always liked those type of, airtime hills where you're going up, to the side and back down. Those were always fun. Now we're going to talk about the smoothing for the ride and the build of the station. Once the track layout was finalized, when I fully finished it, I ran a test cycle and immediately noticed a few, and I'm not saying a few, but a lot of spots that needed smoothing, especially those corkscrew sections. Well, they were already pre-built, but I'm talking I added little tiny, track pieces, you don't want to make the track too long, so then you can smooth it even better, which most YouTubers do, by the way. Don't make the tracks pieces too long so you can get smooth it way better. It's very helpful when you guys get the hang of it. Now, I talked about the Aero Coaster being super rough, so I took the time to smooth it out. I like a couple spots overall for the riding experience. It took me about probably 10 minutes, but then certain spots, there was still some pretty bumpy spots, probably towards the end with that little airtime hill. Now, I'm going to talk about the station and the design. The station walls will be black or gray. That's what I was thinking. Then, made from a new material from what I did from all the rides. They're all, different types of material, type of wall. I wanted this station to feel unique, so I spent a lot extra time redesigning the coaster because, honestly, I don't think it put much effort into that family coaster station. I mean, maybe I put a lot of effort into the invert one, I think. But, I really like this station even more than the invert, probably. I think I like this one more, but I think it's just the outside of the coaster. You get to see the huge pillars and designs. I'll talk about that later. You can see this huge, nice station. It looks pretty nice. Now, I'm going to be talking about the May update, which is actually coming out towards the end of the month. One of the biggest updates is coming to Planet Coaster 2 in May, and there's one also in June that they release some leaks of what's going to be in the game. One thing, I don't know if it's in the May or June update, but we will be able to customize our station floor colors, which was back in Planet Coaster 1, but it is not available in Planet Coaster 2 right now, so I'm glad they're bringing it back because it really helps tie the station design together. For the station fencing, I went with a good wood spec design. It just suits with the coaster, type of theme. I didn't want to do a general, fencing what I've done with the other coasters. I want to do one. I want to add each individual fence. I don't want to keep doing the same fence over and over, so I want the little variety. Now, I'm going to be talking about this for the support of the the station, to hold up the roof and stuff. I use the pillars, which I literally just talked about a couple of minutes ago, to create both the structure, but the station colors will be teal blue, but I decided to switch things up with the whole station when it was finished. So I didn't just use it as the support, I used it for the design on the outside of the coaster. And honestly, it looks kind of nice. For the queue area and the path adjustments, I made sure to create a long queue, keep the same wood spike type of fence, of course, as the station. Then I jumped into the path editing, using the editing tool to clean up the layout and make sure everything looks kind of nice and smooth. One thing I want to point out, another YouTuber mentioned that Planet Coaster 2 should bring back the square queues, or have that as an option. Well, they had in Planet Coaster 2 right now. You can make them in Planet Coaster 2, but it is way harder to. You actually have to manually build them. When in Planet Coaster 1, you had that option to make it into square right away, and it made it like perfect square. I totally agree with him. It will make the park layout so much easier. I think his name is JLWY Games or something. Make sure to go check him out. He's pretty awesome. I like watching his videos. He's very good into detail. I learned a lot from him. Now let's get into the Serenity. At this Serenity, I don't even know how to say this. At this point, I realized that I haven't really added enough trees and bushes around the coaster to make the whole area feel more natural. I was thinking maybe adding like black or red trees. I don't know if you can customize the colors for the trees yet. I'm not completely sure, but they should add that to the game where you get to, add different types of colors on the trees. But I think they only do that for certain items like the bushes. I don't really know. They should really do that for the trees. It makes it a lot better. Now, I'll be coming back after this video to work on... Should I say, after I am done making this video, I will be adding more bushes and trees. So you guys will probably be able to see that in the next video, or maybe I might cut it out. It probably doesn't matter, but in the next video, I'll definitely be focusing more on making probably more utility places, and then starting on the flat rides, which I already have done. If you guys have seen in the video, I've already added some rides. Well, I want to add to the park, so I spread them out and I put them where I actually want to put them. So I spread them out and put them in spots that I think would look nice. And I think there's like more coasters on one end, but the one is one less short, but it's okay. It looks kind of nice. I actually kind of like it where I'm all putting them. I have 2 inverts, I have like 2 launch coasters, I will have one B&M Hyper, or no, not B&M Hyper, Giga Coaster. That one, I think that might be the last video, or maybe the RMC Hybrid. I'll find out, but I guess we'll see. Probably one of those two, but I guess we'll find out. Now let's talk about the flat ride. The flat ride color change, which I have done. Here's something cool. If you pause the video around, I think 16 minutes, you'll see that I have changed the one of the flat ride's color scheme. Originally it was orange-ish, pink and reddish type of color, but those color looked kind of faded away and washed out. I didn't really catch on to those colors, so I changed it up. Especially it was called flamethrower, so I'm like, pink and red. I'm like, you know what? Let's make a dark reddish color, or like it was like more like a dark red and brown type of color, but it looks kind of nice. So I swapped them out for dark red, and honestly it looks so much better from the distance. You guys will be able to see it in the video. It's so much better. It's like, oh, look at this nice, and you get that huge emotion. You're like, oh wow, look at this. This is so much better, with the new paint job on it. Now I'm going to talk about my final thoughts and the next steps into this Planet Coaster 2 series. that wraps up today's video. If you got any name ideas for this coaster, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you all come up with. Also, I'll be starting YouTube Shorts soon. So if you guys have any ideas for, short form content, let me know in the comments. I would really like to know. I was thinking maybe doing like Planet Coaster, videos like Crazy Rides or something like that, or Fortnite trick shots or something like that. Tell me that in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe for more awesome Planet Coaster 2 content and more other content like Fortnite, Apex Legends maybe. I don't know. I haven't really been catching on to updates from Planet Coaster. Apex Legends. So if you guys have any YouTube video ideas, please tell me that in the comments. Hope you all have an amazing day. See you all in the next video. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of the day.